Good morning, everybody. It's Debbie Leno from Luma Life Wellness, and I am the founder and creator of the New Ageless Woman. And my interview today is with my friend Shirley. And she's an original Pittsburgh girl, and she she currently lives in Indiana, and she's here today to share with us some self-care practices that she developed along her journey. And I'd like to read you a little something about her and give you her bio. So Shirley is a Reiki master, life coach. She's also CEO of Empress Shirley LLC. She had a thriving career as an educator and social service provider, but had no time for herself, her health and wellness, or spending time with her son, who was a special needs child and was missing some of his childhood or community. And she suffered from bouts of depression and panic attacks, anxiety, and stress from being overworked, underpaid, and I think probably a little disconnected with the things that were important to her. So she went on her own personal journey of immersive self-care practices that really invigorated and nourished her. And she dove inward, which is what we need to do when we come on times like that, is to go inward rather than outward. And she found her bliss in a slower paced lifestyle of prayer, meditation, exercise, motherhood, family, and entrepreneurship. And now she shares all of what she has learned personally and professionally through her coaching business that focuses on helping women through the specific needs of raising children that are special needs, and servicing women who are really going through burnout. So Shirley, I'm really anxious to have you share more of your story with us and to really let our viewers know what your personal trials were and how that really was instrumental in leading you more towards your future and where you are today and how you're helping women.
Well, thank you so much, Debbie. I feel so blessed to be here and share such a wonderful community here. And basically, I really found myself just beside myself with working. I was working as a mental health therapist in a local community, but I had about a 2.5 to 3 hour commute and both ways. And by the time I got home, I was just beside myself. My son was already put to sleep. Um, there was nothing more for me to do but to start the day again when I got back home. I had a nanny in the house that was really taking care of my son. My marriage was was on the rocks because I didn't have a lot of time to spend with my partner, and I really wanted to turn it around. I got the wake up call when my employer decided to let me go because of after FMLA, they decided that my caseload was not high enough to sustain me. And I decided, well, this is probably the best situation for me to really go ahead and focus on my family and what matters.
I would have to say that that was divine intervention, don't you think?
I certainly do because I really saw it as a sign because I was telling you before Buffalo Soldiers by Bob Marley was playing in the background, and I could just see me venturing out into the world um, after that experience, and I really I first struggled with it a little bit, but then I really started to say, wait a second, you're here for a reason. So let's embrace this. So I started taking classes at the local ashram and going to yoga and meditation classes and really got reacquainted with my Bible and really started reading a lot more verses on a daily basis again, taking nature hikes and
Oh,
meditation in the woods with my drum. Um, just really immersing myself in journaling, all the things that you want to do that you not necessarily had I didn't have time for before. Um, and then I started to see that other women, I had time to put myself first. And um, when I wasn't putting myself first, I was a complete basket case. I was going through running back and forth to the therapist's office and social service agencies, having panic attacks. Um, and all that subsided when I decided to really devote myself to a daily practice of meditation.
so let me ask you a question then. So here you are running from place to place and really feeling anxiety and panic. And so you realized you had to do something to change that trajectory, right?
Correct.
So did you carve out time first thing in the morning to set your day right? Is that the new routine that you started to instill to change that?
Initially, my husband had a lot of band practices in the evening, and so I had the time in the evening to spend with myself. We had a room, our meditation room that we had already designed we used for our spiritual practices with all our altars in there. And I just hung out in there. I spent time when he was at band practice and um, really reconnected with myself. And I got really centered and grounded with myself, started to listen to my inner voice and hear what the Almighty wanted me to do. And
Mm.
I
I cannot
really
speak highly for that. I cannot speak highly enough for that. That meditative practice is crucial, I think.
I really found that it was so instrumental. Time went by and I had less and less contact with my mental health therapist because I was doing so well, and my son started to thrive because I put myself first. You know, they always say when you go up to the airport, put your oxygen mask on first before putting it on anybody else. And we as women find that as something that's not something that comes natural to us. And I had to learn how to do that. So what I did was I eventually started having meditation practice twice a day, 40 minutes in the morning and 40 minutes in the afternoon in the evening. And really got my life together. And by the time of implementing these practices and going to yoga and taking long walks in nature, my mental health therapist told me that I no longer had the diagnosis that I was suffering from.
That's beautiful, Shirley. Yes, that's so, it's people look at that and they think, really? And I say, really? It does help. I mean, getting grounded, it's kind of an overused term today. Get grounded, feel balanced, meditate. But if you really do the work to do it and to practice it, it is life changing.
That is what I found. And then I started sharing just with the circle of friends that I had what I was doing with myself because they noticed the change in me. And so I started to think, maybe I should start to do this professionally. A lot of people are asking me about meditation. And so I also wanted to help other women to really come to terms with um, having a special needs child. And I was always really a resourceful person. And so I started to help professional women to really put themselves first so that they can have a life of thriving with their special needs child, professional women, and special needs children with my first business. And
That is such a big niche and such an underserved niche, I think. There are needs that are so specific to women who are caring for special needs children, and I thank you for the work that you've done in that area.
well, it's a pleasure. It's so much joy to see somebody who not necessarily maybe had a spark of hope that really needs to really just shine. And what I've noticed is with our special needs parents, we're so accustomed to um, doctors and diagnoses and problems that we project that onto our children, and so that really reinforces the illness as well. So really coming out of that and really saying that anything is possible in this situation with faith in the mama, anything is possible was
Oh,
the
I
was
love
the
that.
saying I had for my business as for Possible Mama LLC, and I carried that with it. I still carry that. I also picked up some skills as a Reiki master. My husband is a Reiki master, and he taught me how to teach other women how to do Reiki on their own selves for self care to de stress and center and address some of the emotional issues on a daily basis for themselves right after they do their meditation practice, and also just to heal their families. We as women are the first medicine people on this planet, and so I wanted to carry that on with helping other women to know that they had with inside themselves, even when we have our moon cycles as women, those are the opportunities for us to really dive deep in and heal our families from any kind of discomfort, disease, or disorder that is health, has a hold on our family. So those are some of the things that I like to pass on to women and to help them to understand that tuning within opens up your world, and having a really taking stock of life, listening to the birds sing in the morning,
Yes.
walking bare feet and getting grounded in the earth, and really helping them to have a lifestyle change, not only just having meditation in your life, but just having a slower pace of life so you can breathe in the goodness and and exhale the things that no longer serve you on a regular basis. Go from breath to breath to breath, and one moment of serenity to the next moment of serenity to the next moment of serenity.
And I really believe God equipped us with all of this ability. He equipped us to be able to heal ourselves and our families. I give God the credit in this marvelous human being that He created, that we are capable of so much.
That is so true. And not only that, I really found my spiritual journey in this walk when they did give me my papers to move on. And I do also help women to find their own spiritual path, because it may not be the same spiritual path that your parents had taught you as a child. And we all have our own spiritual journey that makes us feel whole and centered in the goddess that we are. And so I do have a self-care group called Self-Care Goddesses, that I help other women to put themselves first on Facebook and embrace the love, self-love and self-acceptance, and to really take stock of what things are important for them.
That's so good, Shirley. Um, I think that self-acceptance is a huge thing to master. And a friend, dear friend of mine back in New York, many, many, many years ago, when I was quite young and she was 10 years older than me, and her wise words to me is, it's all about patient acceptance. And I really didn't understand what she meant by that. But I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm 30 something, she's 40 something, and she's, but I learned a lot from her. Some of her words stand true in my mind. Gosh, that was what, 50 years ago. And she told me, no, not 50 years ago. What am I talking about? More like 30 years ago. She also told me that inflammation was the cause of all disease. I'm like, really? And today it's true. Inflammation is the cause of all disease. But back to patient acceptance, I first heard that term in my early 30s, but I didn't really understand what that meant until my 50s. And then I was like, oh, okay, now I have it. Now I get it. It is, because I think don't you think that this culture has been obsessed with goals and achieving and success, and I'm not giving in and I'm not accepting, and I'm going to, break it all, go to the limits. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying there's much to be learned from patient acceptance of where you are at that moment in time, to really
Yes,
accept yourself entirely, completely.
yes, and I have really gone on a journey with that myself, and really learned um, through. I'm a MAP practitioner, and um, I really learned through that, and also EFT tapping. My husband and I do that on a regular basis every day, and at the end of the night, and at the end of the day, we do a wrap of tapping, and we talk about unconditional love, acceptance, and forgiveness for ourselves and for each other as a couple. And
Oh, oh, can we do can you lead us through a real quick round of it? Because I love tapping, and a lot of my friends and clients, I've walked them through tapping, and I would love for you, if you would be willing to share us your tapping round, especially with the unconditional love
sure,
and forgiveness. I love that. Let's do it.
okay, no problem.
I'm sorry for busting in, but I just think that'd be something so cool to share.
Sure. There's a few points. We use the karate point here, and then underneath these are there's a couple different points than the regular tapping points. Just the one under the nose, and then under the chin, and then back to the point. Those are just for first point. And then there's also this one right here on the collarbone. So I think I got them all. Let me see here. So I would say we'll start with the collarbone. I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate love myself. I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate love myself. I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate love myself. underneath the nose. As I realize and actualize wholeness through this experience, I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate myself. As I realize and actualize wholeness through this experience, I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate myself. As I realize and actualize wholeness through this experience, I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate myself. And actually, that's not under your chin, but back to their arm, your
Karate
the
chop.
karate chop. I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate myself in all ways, always, no matter what. I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate myself in all ways, always, no matter what. I unconditionally love, honor, accept, respect, forgive, and appreciate myself in all ways, always, no matter what. And take a deep
I
breath in.
love that. Thank you, Shirley. Did I
You're
have to ask you?
welcome.
I have to ask you a question. Did you say appreciate love? Like combining
Yes,
appreciate and love? Because at first I was like, I don't know if I'm hearing her right. So it's appreciate love. That's really cool.
yes. That's Rasta term that we use. As Rasta, we always speak in terms of what things actually are because the English language is something that is not very specific. So in Rasta terms, we always speak in language that is very specific so that the word, sound, and power is accurate. So that's why we say appreciate love.
I like that. That's very cool. That's very cool. Tapping is amazing. It shifts you pretty quickly if you start to develop that tapping method and learn more about EFT tapping. It shifts your mood pretty fast and quick. You know,
Yes, and yes,
yeah.
and it is something that I do practice in Empress Shirley LLC. I do teach women how to tap and also to do Reiki and just a bunch of different modalities just to help center and ground, guided meditation.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. I found the EFT tapping. I don't know Reiki yet, but I found that tapping and guided meditation very, very useful in my map sessions as well. That it can unstick you, get you unstuck.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So Shirley, we're about running close on the time, so I really would love for you to share your final burning message to the ladies out there in our audience, and what would you say to them today?
I have a challenge to ask you. Basically, what would it take for you to put yourself first? Um, what steps do you need to do? And would that be working with someone? Would that be going to bed early? What would it take? Do you need to hire someone to help you to be accountable for 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 your journey or to help you with the plan? Or do you need what is it that you need? And if you so do desire to work with someone, please reach out to me, Empress Shirley LLC, on Facebook. You can always instant message me or go send me an email at Empress Shirley LLC, and I would be happy to have a discovery session with you to really develop that inner peace that we all so crave so much. There's no reason to be in a state of falling apart or burnout all the time. And there's so many people with this pandemic right now that are in burnout mode, as people that are on the line, especially social service agent providers. And if you um, just work with someone to basically get your self-care in order, then everything else will fall in alignment.
Shirley, that's a wonderful question. What will it take for you to start a self-care program? What do you need? What has to happen? That's such a great question, especially for very busy women. Yeah, thank
Thank
you for
you so
that.
much.
That's a wonderful question to ask. And so, ladies, if you're not if you're overwhelmed and you think you're too busy to take care of yourself or other things are coming first, what will it take? That's a great question. So, thank you so much, Shirley, for joining me today and sharing your talents and sharing your journey with all of us. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's on a replay, so you can play it anytime you wish. Thank you so much, Shirley. Have a wonderful day, and thank you. Blessings to you.
Blessings to you, my sister. Blessings to you,
Mm.
goddess.
Bye, everybody.